All right. Episode 70. Believe it or not, David, we have reached the big 7-0 of the A-League. We've reached Devin Booker status pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
70 points on the Boston Celtics. We reached Devin Booker status. We reached Mark McGuire status. All that good stuff. But thanks once again, everybody tuning in. SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Dash Radio, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. For those that, by the way, for those that that are listening, I'm wearing a Brooklyn Nets hat. By the way, I'm wearing a Brooklyn Nets beanie, which kind of reminds me of something. You know, since Eric recently made the jump to New York, I gotta ask him one time: Is anybody trying to get him to be like a fan of the Nets or the Knicks, or is he still true to Atlanta?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I should have asked him. Had he even made it to a game? Because I know.
I'm pretty sure he's probably been invited a couple of games.
Yeah, both of them aren't doing too well, so it probably shouldn't be that hard to get in.
Probably not. The only thing about it is that because they're both New York teams, it's one of those issues where the ticket prices, I imagine, for both the Nets and the Knicks are probably freaking sky high, even when they're not doing all that well. So, they're probably up there a little bit, but yeah, probably had to get to a game a little bit. Oh, by the way, what is that you wearing? Is that an LSU Tigers? Is that an LSU Tiger shirt?
It's just a shirt, no association.
Is that an LSU Tigers deal you're wearing? And you call yourself an Auburn fan and a Kentucky? What?
No,
what is going on here?
I don't know. It's just a shirt I put on. I used to.
Did you lose a bet or something?
No, just cold outside, and I had the shirt. Yeah,
just cold outside. Okay.
Yeah. Let me just get this clear.
Okay.
I didn't buy this shirt. I used to help out with the bowl games in Orlando, and
True.
LSU played Louisville like 2 years ago, and helped out with that game and got LSU shirt. But yeah.
Oh, I was just about to say.
I still remember the game this past year against Auburn. Unfortunately they pulled it out, but I do like a couple of LSU players like Honey Badger and Jarvis Landry.
Right.
But it's still this year LSU got it coming from.
Right, exactly. Gotcha. Just trying to clear the air because I know how much of an Auburn and a Kentucky fan you are. So just trying to get that out there. For those that know, we pretty much we usually not only record, but we also have a video simulcast. So if we was able to do this week's video simulcast, you'd probably be able to see it right then and there. He's wearing a LSU Tigers shirt, but believe me, he actually is. But once again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Once again, A-League Show episode 70. Hey, pretty sure you've been keeping up with the conference tournaments. March Madness is already on the way, and Selection Sunday, as we record, Selection Sunday is tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it came around quick. Like February. Yeah, it went by pretty fast, and now it's the conference tournament. Conference tournament just now. I was actually surprised Kentucky is actually still in the mix. So I was kind of expecting them to fizzle out quick. It's just they haven't been doing too well this year, but they're in there. I was really surprised, but as far as expectations and stuff, I really don't. I'm pretty apathetic towards it just because it's just I really, Kentucky's not winning at all, and I haven't really been following any other teams. I know the draft. You got your Marvin Bagley's, DeAndre Ayton's,
Sexton.
Yeah, Sexton.
Who's been balling, by the way, for Alabama. I mean, that last second layup. I mean, that was a highlight of the conference tournament for me.
Yeah, it was nice. I say in the group chat we all have, I was wrong about him. I thought he was a rich man's Jeff Teague, but he was. He's been a surprise to me. Actually, I was in the gym one time. I think they was playing. They was playing Oklahoma, and I was watching the game. I was just very impressed. He has a nice motor on him. He's a complete player. Reminds me of De'Aaron Fox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's one of those issues where I imagine that, given where the Hawks are in the NBA standings, and given with the fact that that they're pretty much a lottery team this year, I imagine that a lot of Hawks fans are probably watching, lots of these conference tournaments with lots of intrigue, about just about Colin Sexton and also Bagley. I remember last night, a lot of people were making a big deal because it looked like that there was another one of those dare I say, not so basketball type plays by one Grayson Allen.
Yeah, this guy's been in college forever.
I mean, I know, right? It just seems as though to me like that, a lot of people, they get on him for being a dirty player, and he's done some stuff. But I remember somebody else was saying something like, "Oh, if he tries that mess in the NBA, he's probably he's asking for something." I feel like that if Grayson Allen is one of those types of players that he does so much stuff. I wonder how he would adapt to the way the NBA would have been in like the 80s and the 90s, because how a lot of stuff, players, I guess it's one of those issues where if stuff like that were to happen in like the 80s and the 90s, they would get a lot physical. Like that's a fight starting to happen. That would be a fight. Not in today's probably like softer, dare I say, more genteel NBA, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just I mean, like I expect them to bring that type of attitude to today's NBA. Probably get him, get him recognized, because it's just like it's not too many people in the league that look like him. So it's a way for him to stand out and get some playing time. That's bringing that toughness. You got guys like Matthew Dellavedova. He brings that toughness, and he made a career out of it pretty much. Like he
practically
never put no 30-point game as far as I can recall, and he just brings that toughness, and it's you need tough guys. So it's just you always need guards. Guards,
especially in today's NBA where it's guard heavy.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't expect them to be like high pick or anything like that. Maybe like first or second, but I can't say that he's gonna be a superstar or anything. No.
Oh, and look who just came in the building, the mayor of Athens himself, Jeremy Johnson. What's going on, man?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
And right behind him, bringing up the rear, last but not least, Rashad Milligan.
What y'all talking about?
We were just talking about the upcoming tournament, March Madness, everything like that, everything that we've seen. What you been able to observe so far?
I was really impressed with a couple teams. Alabama. I really think if they get in the tournament, they're going to be a team that could steal a game or two. The SEC is the conference that we had a Final Four team go from the SEC last year in South Carolina.
Right.
I think this year they have a couple teams that are capable of making that kind of run. You got Kentucky. Auburn's a team that lost in the second round of the SEC tournament, but they're a team that reminds me of the Oregon team from last year that can make a run because they're so fun to watch, and they shoot the ball so well, and they got three really good guards. And in the NCAA tournament, I'll take good guard play over big men any day because big men get in foul trouble. So
right,
when you got three good guards, you got a shot. So Kentucky's Kentucky.
Of course, Kentucky has that name recognition too. Kentucky's always one of those teams that just like Carolina, just like Kansas. You're always expecting them to some way, somehow, they're gonna be in the mix always because they're Kentucky.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And Duke right now will be my favorite to win it all, just because they're the deepest team and they have the most talent. I mean, they have Marvin Bagley and they have Wendell Carter, and Duval, and Grayson Allen. Like when I look and think about who's going to win 6 games, I mean that's the team that I lean towards. So I mean it's going to be probably one of the better tournaments we've seen in the last couple of years, based off because all the big time NBA prospects will get their shot to play in the tournament.
Right.
We're gonna have a lot of these superstars in their home in March. So
exactly,
we're gonna see a lot of these guys.
And that's what we need, really. That's what we need, to of course, there's always intrigue, of course, as we all know about the draft, but there's always, it's one of those things that I'm pretty sure that since there is going to be that feeling where all these big time all these big time stars are going to be in the tournament for sure. That's just as you said, is one of those things that's going to have a lot of NBA scouts definitely looking on with lots of intrigue and just like that.
Does Mark Fox get an extension?
No.
No extension?
For what? Because he won 2 games in the tournament? No. They sucked all year. I mean, you're not gonna get a pass from me because you won 2 games against teams you should have beaten anyway. Like those, Georgia's better than those 2 teams. That's been the case all year. And for them to be the 12th seed, that just further proves my point.
I didn't know that Georgia basketball was relevant.
But did he really say? Oh, Jeremy, you got to clap.
I mean,
sure.
when it comes to this state, I'm pretty sure that my alma mater, Georgia State, it runs things.
The Georgia women's team used to be pretty good.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Mackenzie Ingram.
Yeah.
Mob County product.
Georgia's women's team actually is really good this year. They're ranked in the top.
Like I said, shout out to Mackenzie Ingram, Mob County.
And didn't you just say something? Didn't you say something about as well State as well?
Oh yeah. State. I mean, as far as Georgia goes,
as far as
GSU runs it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Georgia State's probably the best basketball team in the entire state.
And it's been that way for like the last 5 years.
Hey, we beat Tech in that charity game, so we got claimed.
I mean, according to what though? What makes Georgia State the best team in the state? Because last time I checked, beating Tech is
okay.
A big deal.
All right. Well, look at the postseason record. I mean,
but they also play in a weak conference, so
yeah, Georgia has more recognition.
I mean,
it doesn't matter if Georgia has more recognition. Georgia State's a better team.
No, they're
it's
not.
all about just put both teams on the court.
Think about when Georgia made the tournament in the last 5 years.
The same amount of times that Georgia State made it.
Okay, how many games has Georgia won in the tournament in the last 5 years compared to Georgia State? Because it's an even playing field once you get in. Okay, Georgia won 0, Georgia State won 1.
But who did Georgia play when they got in? Michigan State, the team who went to the finals that year.
Okay, and Georgia State played the number 2 seed in the in their region. What do you mean?
Baylor.
Yes.
Baylor was a 3 seed that year. State was a 14.
Well, 3 seed.
And then you literally have 12 nights off a year in the conference because Troy,
who we just beat last night.
Texas, San Antonio, whatever that school's called.
You really don't think that Georgia State can beat UGA in basketball?
No,
come on.
They can't.
You guys are tripping.
No, we're not tripping.
You guys are tripping.
The games.
Oh, like Georgia State relies on D1 talent. You know, Georgia is full of D1 talent.
They have and it's not just D1 talent. It's talent that multiple D1 schools wanted. Georgia State's building around
DeMarcus Simons.
Okay.
DeMarcus
That's
Simons.
one player.
Simons
okay.
Georgia has 3 of those guys.
Kansas, UConn, Kansas State. All of those guys offered DeMarcus Simons.
So you name me one player and you expect me to jump off my bridge.
Yeah,
I'm saying Kane Williams is a 4-star. He's the backup point guard. He barely plays.
Every player Georgia has is a 4-star. Every player Georgia has. Every player they have is a 4-star.
They don't have a 3-star. They don't have a 2-star on their team.
No.
Yeah,
that's a lie.
No, it's not.
That's a lie.
Go look.
I could look at. All right.
Yeah.
We got time today.
Yeah,
every player that's within a junior or to freshman.
Oh, so now he's changing it.
I mean, the only player that's not a 4-star is Jawan Parker.
All right, let me see.
And Yonte Mayton, who became the SEC Player of the Year. So stars don't matter in that case.
When we was going to state, I remember most of what they had was that they would get, they would basically get, like, dare I say, leftovers from other D1 teams. Like, we know,
well, isn't that
Harrell
what Georgia
came
gets?
from
No.
Kentucky.
No, Georgia
of course,
recruit.
Ware came from Louisville, and wasn't R.J. Hunter once recruited by Indiana?
Yeah, I mean, and Ryan Harrell came from Kentucky, where he wasn't even good enough to start, and started and was Georgia State's best player.
Curtis Washington came from USC.
What do you mean he wasn't good enough to start at Kentucky?
He wasn't better than Archie Griffin.
Curtis Washington came from
the
USC.
whole season.
He started the whole season, but then by the end of the year, he was benched.
Okay, for Archie Goodwin, a lottery talent in the NBA draft.
Where is he now?
It's college.
He played in Phoenix. He played in Phoenix for
Where
a
is
few
he
years.
right now?
And the Goodwin twins.
He's probably still in the
Harrison
league.
twins.
And the Harrison twins coming in too. It's gonna take his spot too. So.
Allegedly, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
But Archie Goodwin, he still plays for the Arizona Suns.
He doesn't. He's a free agent.
He plays for I just looked it up.
Oh, really?
He plays for the Suns, but he plays in the G League.
You know what's
He's a
so
free
crazy about you know what's so crazy? I was just thinking about this coming in that, in addition to just all the intrigue about this year's tournament, what I don't like about this year's Selection Sunday is the format that they're going to be using to announce the 68 teams. Like, they said that they're going to just announce the 68 teams and then they're going to announce the brackets. That's dumb to come again. That's
So
dumb
like,
to me.
Like an hour long.
Yeah, it's an hour. It's an hour-long
so it's
show.
ratings and advertising.
Yeah, ratings and advertising.
That's mess though. There's no intrigue then, because if they just name the 68 teams in the first few minutes and then they're gonna release the, I'm gonna turn off.
Have you ever watched American Idol?
Yeah.
What?
Then you know how they can stretch out something for program.
No.
There's going to be a performance
That's
by
a
some
different-
random
that's
star.
a- That's a singing competition versus sport.
And the finalist is the craziest episode because they be like, it's two people, so you can't, vote off one person at the beginning of the show, vote off another person. So they got to be like, all right, who will it be? Next after the break. And they do that for an hour.
Then they come back. Then there's a performance.
there's
They
a
sing the
performance.
song and they dance. And
Then they bring
singing.
out the finalists, the two finalists back on the stage.
They just stand there and look at each other.
Oh, here we go. And then he holds their hand, Ryan Seacrest. Hey, Ryan Seacrest, man, in some trouble, man. Speaking of, that's a side note, but he's in that Me Too movement.
By the way,
But-
Eric, if you're watching, now we got everybody on camera right now, so you can actually see that David's wearing a Go Tiger shirt.
Wow.
Did you lose a bet or something?
No, it's just a work shirt.
Okay.
It's a work shirt.
Yeah, you got to go ahead and clarify that because I was wondering
we
about
clarified
that.
that in the first 5 minutes, Jeremy. You good?
I did the Orlando Bowl games. So Lamar Jackson versus LSU.
You couldn't have got a Louisville shirt because Louisville played in that game.
Oh no, I got this for free. I ain't trying to pay for my shirt.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't pay for nothing with Florida.
Because I was just about to
LSU,
say, that's like
none of
Jeremy
it.
coming in and wearing a Florida shirt.
That'll be the day I die.
I could, Rashad, I could actually see Jeremy possibly wearing something that says Florida on it if he goes down to Gainesville.
I can't.
I could see it.
I'll come in there just like this. I'll go into Florida the University of Florida. And I'll walk around campus just like this, just daring people.
That's what I did in New Orleans.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna rip my stuff. I don't care what they say.
It is what it
I
is.
wore my NFC Championship shirt actually.
Yeah.
Hey, we're right here. Look at me. We're in a Brooklyn Nets hat in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area.
Hey, you ain't got to worry about that here.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna do nothing to you.
Yeah,
I got away with
about-
I got
we
away
don't
with
care
wearing a
about
New York Met hat too.
Yeah, it seems like this type of stuff happens up north at the Pride stuff. So
Yeah. And even within New York City, I doubt Knicks fans are gonna be like, oh
Right.
my God, why are you wearing that Brooklyn hat?
Because
They're
the
gonna be
thing
like,
is, the Nets are still.
Hey, wait, hold on.
It's
Pape
still New
Diatta, 6'7", class of 2014. He plays for Georgia. He was a 70 scout grade, 3 stars.
So you found one player.
Okay, I mean, I only looked at 3 players. I can keep going.
Pop Diatta would probably play. He probably would average 15 or 20 to 20 with Georgia State. Right now.
Chill. He's a 3-star.
Oh.
So Georgia
Okay.
State got 2 4-stars. You going to count my Bulldog stars? Really? Really?
Mike Edwards, 78,
He
class of
don't
2014.
play. He
3
don't play.
stars.
He don't play. He does not play for Georgia. He's just on the team.
I remember this dude, Rashad Hammonds. I remember him from high school. Let me see where he is.
He's a top 100 player.
Yeah, I remembered him.
He came from Norcross maybe.
Yeah, he came from Norcross. Yeah, he's a 4-star, 88. So he's the only guy that could really see DeMarcus Simons.
And everybody's still tapping him as DeMarcus Simons as a possible, if not NBA, as possible maybe G League prospect.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
that's what I was
disrespectful.
It's true.
I mean, RJ's in the G League. Jeremy Hollowell's in the G League.
Exactly.
Okay,
I mean,
DeMarcus Simons is better than Hollowell.
okay.
I think you got something there. I think he's better than Hollowell.
I've
And
seen the
he's
kid
more
play
athletic.
twice,
He's
so
more athletic
I'm
than
not gonna
him.
pretend like I know what he can do and what he can be. But from what I've seen, I mean, he ain't RJ. So where's RJ?
What do you
League?
think? What do you think? You think RJ's better?
Yes.
No, I can't. I can't roll with that. I mean, because like I said, like I've covered both of them during the full season. So from what I've seen, like Simons can shoot.
What is his
And he doesn't showcase
NBA? What
that.
is his NBA skill then? Because I mean, everyone can shoot
And everyone's athletic.
and everyone's big.
Who would you say has a better interior, like a
Oh.
better interior game, like DeMarcus or RJ? Like who you say is a better penetrator into the basket?
I would give that to Simons just based off what I've seen.
Right.
Right.
But RJ has a better handle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean that's like one of the things that he has to work on. Simons has to work on his handle and his attitude.
So you're telling me a guy who can't create his shot in the NBA is better than a guy you're
Well, I
saying.
mean, he tore up a dude that was third team All ACC this year. So what are we talking about?
third team All ACC.
in the best conference in college basketball? You gonna downplay that?
The best conference is the SEC.
The best conference is the ACC.
The best conference in college basketball.
So the number one team in the country, Virginia, and then UNC, and then Duke.
UNC was
and you saying SEC is better this year?
How many teams?
I've heard a bunch. You're not the first person I heard.
I think college basketball confused with college football. Jeremy.
How many teams is the ACC going to have in the tournament? Maybe 5, maybe 6.
But okay, but they got 3 of the best teams in the country.
It means nothing because they can lose just like everyone else can in the tournament.
SEC,
same with SEC teams.
Exactly. But SEC, who we got? Dang, we got Bama, we got Kentucky. Is Florida good this year?
Yes.
Auburn.
Oh, okay. Auburn is good.
Kentucky,
Auburn is good this year.
Missouri.
Tennessee,
yeah.
Arkansas.
Missouri, no. They lost to Georgia.
They're going to be in the tournament.
They lost to Georgia in the SEC tournament. I don't trust Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Missouri is one of those teams that I like I said, I just don't trust them really all that much. Either. Missouri is a team that I feel like can easily, if they make the tournament, they can easily get upset in the first round.
When I look at the ACC, it's very difficult for me to think.
I'm going to tell you right now, the SEC could have
the Big 12.
Of the Elite 8, the SEC is going to have probably 3 of those teams. Auburn's going to be there. Missouri's going to be there because of Michael Porter.
What are you talking about, the Elite 8?
Elite 8. Well, only reason Missouri lost to Georgia is because Michael Porter got going too late because he hadn't played all year.
Right.
He missed a lot of open shots.
Right.
Where he created the shot himself. His brother ain't bad. They got a kid named not Jonte Porter. There's a Porter guy. His last name is Porter. Had the best 3-point shooting percentage in the SEC.
They're kind of like Chino Hills because,
I ain't going to ignore Missouri.
One of the best players on Chino Hills, his last name is Ball, like this year.
Oh, yeah, that's their little cousin.
That's a cousin? I thought so. I thought they were
he's their little cousin.
Yeah. He's good.
He's younger. Yeah, he's getting some D1 attention, too.
He can dunk. Anytime you're a high school kid under junior year and you can dunk and you're dunking on varsity, it's pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
McDonald's high school All-American coming in a couple of weeks. Anybody going?
I don't know. What about you?
Nah.
Not going?
Your boy Ludacris is performing.
It just don't excite me. High school basketball.
Yeah. No. The McDonald's doesn't excite me because, like the most exciting players aren't in the game.
Exactly.
Mac McClung and Shaq's son. Yeah. Those are like the 2 most exciting. Well, Zion.
I'll check Zion out.
But it's like Zion. That's it. Yeah. Bol isn't that exciting. He's just a good player.
That's going to end up being a weak class.
Yeah, it's just going to be a weak because last year you at least had Colin Sexton and Ayton. All those guys played in the game. This year it's like none of the internet famous guys are playing in the game.
I'll take the dunk contest out. Maybe Zion will be in it.
Yeah, I wish they had Mac McClung just bring him in for the dunk contest, man. Shouts out to my guy.
It says a lot when the dunk contest for the McDonald's is better than the NBA's dunk contest.
Well, it's been like that for a few years.
It has been.
I remember in 2004 with Candace Parker and J.R. Smith and Josh Smith. I think she beat him. I was thinking about that this morning. Candace did her thing. D. Brown and all that.
Yeah.
But
she did.
Did y'all already talk about Young Bull?
Did we? I don't think we did. We pretty much just been talking about
Young Bull, man.
Go right ahead, man.
Mob County product. Shout out to Mackenzie Ingram. Shout out to Young Bull. Best player in the game, best player in the country. Someone debate me about it. Anybody?
You ain't gonna hear nothing out of me. I agree.
Got something there.
He proved it to me the other day. I'm sold.
Yeah, it's nice. Just unfortunate. He's number 2. Just these scout size and stuff. It's not my opinion. It's just the way scouts and everybody's talking. It's just Trey can probably gonna be in the NIT this year, and all he got to do is put up 30 points. They were like, oh my gosh, he's awesome. And then Sexton's got to put up like 70 points in order to get that type of attention. It's just, I don't know how the politics of scouting and stuff is, but it's just very weird. It's just because it's like, they're both point guards. They're both good. It's not like it's it's
big to small comparison.
It's not like it's Joe Ingles putting up Bama numbers, putting Sexton numbers, and it's going against Trey. It's just Sexton and Trey, and it's just it's weird. I don't understand, but I guess this kind of could be similar to like Ball and Fox. Just like how people talk about like Fox beat Ball straight up, and still he didn't get that type of recognition either. But.
No, Ball's a better player.
I mean, I don't know. I think Sexton kind of rubs scouts the wrong way because his game isn't pretty. You know what I mean? Like it's not smooth. It's a little. He has a little bit of clunkiness to his game, and Trae Young has the smooth pulling up from half court. It looks pretty on TV when it goes in.
Sleeker, a lot sleeker.
It looks sleek, but when you look up at the end of the game and Colin Sexton has 27 and Trae Young has 27, but Trae Young is taking 50 shots.
Yeah, that's
Colin
exactly.
Sexton has 20 shots. He's made 12 of them. He's gotten to the free throw line 8 times.
Give me Colin Sexton over Trae Young right about now.
And he's grabbed me 7-8 rebounds. He's also gotten me 6 or 7 assists, and the team's up by 15. I'll take that all day.
Give me somebody who has that clunky game because I don't. My thing is, as long as
hey, that's what they said about James Harden coming in, man. They said the same thing.
Exactly. Give me somebody who's got that because, in my opinion, it's not just about like who can just look good on TV. Like, what can you do to make my team a better team, and what can you do to give my team wins? And if it's one of those issues where, in all honesty and truth, your game may be a little bit clunky, that's what I want. That's what I want, because somebody that has a game kind of like Trae Young's can be very, very, very easy to defend because of all them shots he takes.
Yeah. I mean, you know where if you know where he is, and he hasn't, like, I think it's the comparison of Steph Curry kind of threw attributes on him. Like, people say, oh, well, he's pulling up from half court. He must be able to handle the ball. If you really watch him, he doesn't break down a defense.
It's the same comparison people made. It's the same comparison the Kings owner, Vivek Ranadive, made about Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield.
Pronounce his name again.
I want to hear you say that.
Ironically, went to the same school.
Yeah, same
Oklahoma.
System, same type
So
of
Oklahoma
offense.
basically is just pretty much putting out Steph Curry prototypes. No, not exactly.
But I mean, you got to look at Ayton. By the time this comes out, these guys will have played a couple more games. But you have Ayton had 33 and 14 last night. Bridges is a guy that we've been talking about in a group chat I'm in.
Which one?
Mikal Bridges.
Oh, okay.
The one from Villanova. That's Villanova.
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, that's Villanova.
Villanova?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the
Miles is the one from Michigan State.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's who I was thinking about, Michigan
Yeah.
State.
Yeah.
I was like, he Michigan State? And I was like, no, that's Jaren Jackson. And then
Yeah, they both play.
they both play for Michigan State.
I like
Michigan State might have a little run.
I like Mikal better than I like Miles.
Yeah, I see him getting a lot of love pairing with Kawhi.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
reminds me of
I
Kawhi
heard that.
Leonard.
I
He
heard
has a quiet killer about him. I like that. But
Yeah.
and he's been a winner in college.
But
Like
did you know KL compared Kawhi to Torian?
oh god,
I'll never
What?
forget that. I'll never forget
Kawhi
Hey.
got championships.
we all did a little bit. I know. I'm guilty of it. I'm
I'm
guilty
sorry.
of it.
I'm sorry. Once you
all
put
I
them
know
rings
is
on your finger,
I saw KL knows basketball. So when I saw him say it, I'm like, it has to have some validity to it. 'Cause
Yeah.
this man watches a lot of basketball.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't know about that.
We all wrong sometimes.
Yeah, we all hit or miss. It's okay.
Right, exactly. We definitely all hit or miss. Speaking of things that seem to be on a hit or miss type of bit, it seems as though that with all the moves in the NFL that the Seattle Seahawks have been making, pretty much unloading a pretty good bit of their team, that they're going to be more or less miss for the next few years more so than hit.
I don't agree with that.
Getting rid of Sherman and Bennett, it seems as though to me
Jimmy
like they're
Graham.
starting to be that too. It seems though to me like they're trying to set themselves on a bit where they're basically starting to rebuild.
I don't think they want to do that with Russell Westbrook. 'Cause, I mean,
Russell Westbrook.
I feel like
he might as well be.
Westbrook's a football
we
player.
said that at least 3 times during this podcast. Like, not this podcast, but like just a podcast in general. We said Russell Westbrook.
Russell Wilson. Russell
But
Wilson.
like, with Russell
Westbrook,
Wilson
we know.
as a quarterback, I don't think they're rebuilding because that's
I think their win total increases because now they don't have all these big personalities in the locker room making noise. Just
egos. And
egos. Yeah, that's why they were so good to start with, because these guys were hungry back in the, like, when they won that Super Bowl.
Right.
These guys
They weren't famous.
They weren't famous yet, but now they're millionaires and they.
Then I think what really messed
commercials.
everything up was the second Super Bowl after they won the first one,
Yeah.
when they lost.
They
to New
needed
England.
to expunge some of that.
I think Black Lives Matter ruined them. I'm joking.
Yeah, it's just like looking back, like with the original Seahawks team, they were young and fast, and now this team is old. And like, you know, comes time you got to break teams up. You know, it's just what people don't. What they don't seem to bring up is like, you know, Michael Bennett was not starting on that Super Bowl team. It was Red Bryant and Chris Clemens.
That's a good catch.
And, you know, those two left. Michael Bennett, Clint Averill stepped up. You know, it's just like college. You know, Pete Carroll had the team like a college team. You had your Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm, what was his name? USC linebacker.
Malcolm Smith.
Yeah, Malcolm Smith. He left, went to Oakland. You know, KJ Wright now done stepped up. You know, so it's like, it's just, now, you know, they've been drafting. You got a guy, what's his name? Michigan State.
McDowell.
Malik McDowell. Yeah, he was hurt last year. He's gonna step up.
That's another. Yeah, that's a good point.
And you got Sheldon Richardson. He's probably gonna be back. They traded a pick for him, and you know they got, you know, defensive end stuff. They've been drafting. You know, they got Nasir Jones from UNC.
I like Shaquille Griffin from Central Florida. They picked last year to step in for Sherman. He's same thing.
Everybody's been ranting and raving about his combine performance.
No. That's his twin brother. Is plays for the Seahawks.
Gotcha.
Because when you said that, I was like, what? Shaquille Griffin. I'm
What's his
thinking
name?
about Shaquem. Shaquem. His name's Shaquem.
Yeah,
his brother.
The one about to be drafted. His name's Shaquem.
And what's the other one? Shaquille?
Shaquille?
I believe so.
Dang.
Yeah, but Seahawks got
Wait. So who on the Seahawks?
I think Shaquille's on the Seahawks.
Shaquille on the Seahawks. Shaquem about to get drafted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Seahawks got a system. You know, Tampa 2, West Coast offense. It's plug and play. As long as you got, it's plug and play. You know, got Russell Wilson on offense, they'll be fine. He can carry it. And defensively, you got plug in and cover. You know, Tampa 2.
I don't know, man, because they looked kind of rough when Sherman went out last year. Like, I mean,
think that
the Falcons looked like they was having their way with them.
When you have a whole off season to prep, instead of a week. Okay, well now my superstar's out and we got to try to figure out what to do on the fly. That's different than okay, well now these kids can grow up and step into these roles.
Right.
Yeah, it was like Earl Thomas was hurt, Cam was hurt, Sherman was hurt. That's
Bobby Wagner played. He played his butt off all year, but he was even dinged up a little. So
he was dinged up. Yeah, he was playing for it. All those guys were famous.
Yeah.
Every single one of those guys that you guys named were famous. They were celebrities, red carpet, commercials, all that. The Legion of Boom.
Exactly.
It's all over with.
Remember that one year where I think it was 1 year before one of the Super Bowls, they did that cover that looked like a 90s R&B album cover.
On what magazine?
It wasn't a mag. I don't think it was a magazine. I think it was
just a photo shoot.
Yeah, it was just some random photo shoot that they did.
The Seahawks.
Well, they
like someone called them the OKC of football, because they had all those superstars and they can only get one out of it. OKC couldn't get anything out of it, so that was a waste.
I'm like a group of renegades. It's like a whole bunch of pieces nobody wanted.
And then they all came together.
And I think they need to go back to that mindset as far as drafting.
Underdogs.
Yeah, they need to in this year's draft. They need to sit down and think about players that have supreme athleticism, but nobody's thinking it like Griffin from Central Florida.
Right.
I'm talking about the brother now, the one with the left
one arm.
Yeah. I would take a shot on him if I'm the Seahawks. He fits what they want at linebacker, fast, got an attitude, and plus his brother already plays there.
Did you see someone dude, he wrote a column that he was like, I wouldn't take Shaquem Griffin, and here's why. And then everybody got mad at him because
that was
he
gonna
has one
happen.
arm. And then this one dude was like, no one cares what you have to say, you bum. In high school, you rated me the 33rd best quarter. It was Jamal Adams. the 33rd best, secondary player. And I was like, well, if he didn't care what he had to say, then you wouldn't remember what the high school ranking he gave you X amount of years ago. So I never understood that part of journalism where people like criticize journalists and then say, oh, you can't play and no one cares what you have to say, but it's like you obviously care because you clicked on the link and you read it and
era of egos with social media.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Especially nowadays.
Just take it as motivation, man, and just keep.
That's
running.
all you.
That's all you can really do.
I want to salute the Browns really quick just for not being complacent. They had so many top draft picks year after year after year. It obviously wasn't working because they didn't know how to draft, and they just always browned. The Browns always browned, and now at least if the Browns browned with these trades and these weren't good trades, at least they tried.
They tried.
And they did something different than just drafting the player with the biggest name.
Yeah, exactly.
So salute to the Browns for trying to change.
Because that's what they've done for a long time.
No, they used to trade out a lot. It's like they trade the pick for, they had the pick traded out for 2009. One thing they had was like a lot of instability. So 2009 they traded out for Mark Sanchez, and then now they get picked on a lot for trading out for Deshaun Watson
and Carson Wentz.
Oh, and then they picked Johnny Manziel. They picked Trent Richardson high. It's just a lot of, it's been a lot of jokes, but now they got John Dorsey from Kansas City. He built the Kansas City team that Andy Reid currently coaches, and finally got a football guy because Sashi Brown, their past GM, he didn't really have GM experience. He looked at even more analytics, and it's like I get you have to accumulate assets, but players are players also, so it's not you can't be thinking like, oh, I can get 2019 first round pick.
That works. That way of thinking works in the NBA or in the baseball draft because you're like, okay, well, I can get this amount of players for this amount, blah blah blah, all the analytics. But in football, you can look at a guy. And you could pick him in the 7th round. He'd be a franchise player. Look at what Seattle did with Richard Sherman. They grabbed him in the 5th round. And he's on the cover of Madden. He's the face of their franchise for 7 years.
In football, second round and 3rd round is just as valuable as first round.
Matter of fact, I'd rather have 3 second-round picks than 2 or 3 third-round picks than 1 or 2 first-round picks.
That's what they were saying with the Bennett trade. The Falcons fans, they were like, no way I'm giving more than a 5th for Bennett.
And I applaud the Falcons for not panicking and trying to get it.
Yeah, because I found out.
That window closing for the Falcons. I just want to throw that out there.
It is, but also you don't want to panic because if you panic and you reach out and throw a 4th or a 5th round pick in, that closes the window faster.
Right.
See, I had overreacted because I saw that. I was like, all they had to do was trade a 5th. But I found the Falcons don't have a 5th. They traded for a lineman.
Yeah.
I have no idea who this lineman is.
Ty Sambrillo from the Broncos. He was their backup right tackle. He ended up being a very important piece to them this year because when Schrader got hurt early in the year, that's who stepped in. He played pretty well. Yeah. So,
Yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, okay, so they did a good job not giving him a 4th because Bennett's 33. Now I would say, look at Vinny Curry. He's on his way out. There's no way they can afford all those guys in Philly, and he's gonna go. I would love to see Vinny Curry starting somewhere. I think it'd be a great fit in Atlanta.
Because he's scheme versatile. He can play tackle. He can play in. I like Vinny Curry.
Yeah,
I wanted them to draft him when he came out, but they didn't.
It's just I looking at the stats and Claiborne had some very good stats, but I guess he's out of Atlanta's price range.
The thing about Claiborne, another good point that these dudes brought up, he's so inconsistent because he had good stats. What 9 sacks, 11 sacks, but 6 of them were in one game.
And then after that 6 sack game, I don't think he had a sack the rest of the year. He may have had 1.
And hoop, there it is.
But you got to think about who else is on that line. Yeah, so
there is nobody that's
amazing like that. Jared.
He all right.
Yeah, you got Jared, but you can double team Claiborne.
I don't know. Just me watching Claiborne, I never saw him.
I think Tack is going to surprise y'all next year.
Yeah, Tack.
The way that Beasley did, his second year, I think that Tack can have something like that because Tack was playing hurt too.
Yeah, and Tack's more
and-
consistent.
You're right. And Vic was playing hurt his first year,
Yeah, true.
so it was like, you know, I
I don't
think we're gonna see
I don't expect much out of Vic, honestly. He's just kind of a bonus player.
Yeah, Vic is kind of like
Just there to be there.
who he was last year is what we're gonna get for the rest of his career.
Yeah, and I'm not paying him a big contract. When he's done
Yeah.
with his rookie contract, he can move on. I'm good.
Yeah.
I kind of called that his defensive player of the year season was kind of overrated
Yeah,
because it was like it was one game he had like a 3-week stretch where he played LA and it was LA. Come on, I mean when they weren't good. And then Arizona when he played the freaking Georgia State guard.
Oh, yeah, Oregon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
all due respect to Georgia State. I mean,
Yeah.
we're a basketball school. You know, we are the best basketball team in the state. But
Here we go.
and then the third week, I forgot who it was, but he played like
Denver.
Yeah,
Denver had their
yeah.
backup out there too, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
he
they
was
had
playing
their
a rookie
backup, too.
quarterback in his first
right,
start.
Exactly. so it was like he kind of got lucky, like in that little week, and then
Yeah, he played left end too, so
yeah, exactly. And then the rest of the Falcons schedule wasn't that, you know, as good as it was last year, 2017.
Yeah.
shoot, B's gonna be on the sideline.
I mean, I really
Or
could see
Beasley.
him not if they get a Vinny Curry or they bring in somebody in the draft. I can see Vic Beasley being a guy that comes off the bench. Like he doesn't really have a role with this defense.
I mean, reminds me like OC. That's what OC in New York, not OC in Atlanta, but OC in New
Oh,
York.
God.
Oh, see, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, he had that one scoop. Hey, let me tell you a story about
That one scoop,
this
one scoop of ice cream.
my ex, she just broke up with me, and this was like a month later. She was a Saints fan. Falcons played the Saints to end the season, and OC Yerman had that scoop.
That
He-
scoop.
I think he ran about, what was that, 50-yard touchdown?
Longer than that.
Oh,
It was like
man.
53 yards, whatever it was. That was one of the happiest moments of that year.
It was Christmas Eve. I remember running around the house. I said, since we got no place to go, let him go, let him go, let him go.
I was so happy, man. OC Yerman on my ex's team, bro.
Oh man,
man.
that was his moment.
He did that for the culture. I appreciate that, OC. But
And
that's all he did for the Falcons.
That's all he
That
did for the
one
Falcons.
play.
We still remember OC
Yeah,
more or
that
less
was-
as a New Yorker, and that's how he should
definitely,
always be remembered as a New York Giant.
Yeah, Atlanta was weird back then. You know, cut Abraham and
Signing with an old cheap version.
yeah, they got OC like want OC to be a number one defensive end. I was like, no, he's not on number one.
He's not what he was in New York.
He wasn't even the number one in New York. JPP has always been better than him.
Yeah,
And before that, Michael Strahan was better than him.
JPP.
Tuck was nice.
Tuck was nice. Yeah, exactly. So
I'm trying to think who else. It was a guy. It was a end from Minnesota. I think they got too. Oh, Ray Edwards. Yeah.
Ray, oh God.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, that was a bust. But remember, what finger has JPP lost? Was it his index, his ring finger,
Isn't he missing two?
his pinky? Yeah. I think he's missing like
I was
half a
thinking it was
hand.
Pinky.
I can't remember, but he's still balling.
Yeah. But that
So
was
he-
the dumbest thing.
So they moved a linebacker.
Oh God. Don't do that.
Yeah, James.
It's too late to do that.
Yeah. He too old for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's too old.
I don't know.
JPP been playing for a minute,
I
man.
don't know. Freeney made them move the linebacker late.
And where is he now?
He was good at Arizona playing linebacker.
Anyway.
He had like 10 sacks.
I didn't
When you
know-
say-
I
when you
didn't know
say-
he played linebacker.
When you
at
say
Arizona.
linebacker, do you mean like he playing in the middle of the defense?
No, he's playing outside.
No, that's not a linebacker. What they running 3-4?
Yeah.
And middle linebacker.
I didn't know he played linebacker because Arizona was before Atlanta, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he was standing up,
Yeah. Okay.
but he was rushing the passes still.
right. So Vic Beasley.
Vic Beasley. Yeah. I mean I just wish they just get. I hate that term when they call like players who play on the end of the line of scrimmage.
Still call them linebackers.
Yeah, I hate
Yeah,
they call them
right.
linebackers because that's all that is just the player using their marking.
A linebacker
Or
is
the
someone
team-
who
or
is supposed to
team-
get to the quarterback.
Who do y'all think is the best linebacker of our generation, like coming up? Was it Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis? Who is it?
Oh, that's
man,
a good one.
question.
That's a good one. I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, I'm kind of leaning.
It's like
I'm kind of leaning towards
inside
Ray
and
Lewis.
Inside and outside is kind of tough because I mean, like growing up outside, you know, Joey Porter was very good.
Yeah.
And
Even James Harrison.
Keith Brookin.
no.
Keith Brookin broke our heart. He's done.
I mean, for the mic, you know, I kind of want to say Mike, I'd probably say Ray Lewis. And outside,
I don't know. I think I'm gonna go Ray.
Yeah, I think I'm
I
leaning.
mean, you just got to think about everything that Ray for football, like everything. Is this Urlacher's year? He's going in the Hall.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
this
he's
is
going
his
in
year?
the Hall of Fame.
I was unsure if it was this year or last year.
The thing about Urlacher, though, is that Urlacher fit that Chicago Bears mold because
Right.
Chicago has always been known for defense.
Cold
Right,
defense.
the '85 Bears, all that mystique around
Right.
Soldier Field. So that's what. So that's why Urlacher was so beloved in Chicago.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's a perfect Bear.
Exactly.
him and Briggs were nice.
Yeah.
I would
I'm
say,
thinking about Ray too.
as far as like accomplishments in his career, I would say it's hands down Ray Lewis. Like Ray Lewis is the best linebacker as far as career.
Right.
But the best player I've seen with my eyes is Luke Kuechly. Like Luke Kuechly is the best linebacker I've ever seen because
up there.
he can cover.
Yeah,
He'll run you down side to sideline to sideline.
Yeah.
He's a leader. He literally stepped on the field and changed an entire culture.
Right.
No one else has done that.
To have a chant on defense, that's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
You
that's
don't
the
get
best-
the ball.
that's
You
the
don't
best
get the
player
ball
I've
like a
seen.
running back where you get the ball and they go, ooh, Sanu, or something like that. You don't get the ball every other play or every play.
That's
you on
dumb.
defense, and this man still has a chant
Yeah.
that they say 2 or 3 times every game.
Yeah. And
So
Pat
that's crazy.
Willis is another one that I really
Oh yeah,
yeah.
His career in the early. It was nice.
Oh yeah. He was one of those dudes that walked away from the game early, wasn't he?
He had
Yeah,
a toe problem, I think, too.
He got
So
hurt
problem.
late in his career, and then he just
He retired at like
He
27
retired.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson retired. That's crazy. Where do you guys see football in 10 years?
Calvin Johnson is so, but Calvin Johnson retired because he was sick of Detroit.
I mean,
That's one of the reasons he was sick of Detroit.
That's pretty much what Barry Sanders did. So I don't.
Right.
Yeah,
he was pretty much sick of Detroit.
Same thing.
I think 10 years would probably be, I think football will be in a good place. Definitely be, you'll have Carson Wentz.
No, I mean, but do you like the sport of football? Do you guys think like
Yeah.
where do you see football?
It'll look a lot different.
Yeah, it'll be softer, but it'll be softer, but still gonna be American sport.
Oh yeah, Carson Wentz would be like the Matt Ryan, except for he already has a ring.
Right. Exactly.
Carson Wentz, man. Carson Wentz is
He can get 30.
he's gonna have at minimum 3.
He already has one.
You think Carson Wentz
I'm talking about
is probably the next-
that he
won.
wins.
So we not counting this one.
I'm not counting this one for me.
I'm counting this one.
I'm gonna say he gonna have 4 by.
I mean, but without him, they wouldn't be there.
Right, exactly. So you got to count it.
That's true.
You got to count
Shout
it.
out to Trent Miles, man. Super Bowl winning.
Super Bowl went from Georgia
Football
State
coach.
to winning the Super Bowl with Philly.
You know, he was representing his old school. I think it was Indiana State.
IUPUI? No, Indiana
Oh,
State.
Yeah, IUP, that's Hunter. But
Yeah.
he was Indiana State, and he was like, Indiana State, we repping at the Super Bowl. He kept talking about them. He didn't bring up nothing about Georgia State.
What?
Yeah, they
They
fired him.
Come
fired
on,
him. He was
man.
like, I don't fool with you.
Come on,
I'm
man.
representing Indiana State.
I don't know anybody who get fired. That's the thing.
Yeah, and they repped the school, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Wasn't there also something else that you said that you had to get off your chest a little bit, I guess, about some type of relationship stuff?
Well, I wanted to talk about, first of all, we were in a group chat last night. This man David was like, yeah, Brittany Rayner's at the Gold Room tonight. I was like, why do people pay to go into clubs with these with models that and parties that models are hosting? Because they're only there to collect a check. They stand in the VIP section the whole time, and they might sit on their phone and look at the screen and sing a couple songs that they like, put it on their IG story. They're not going to talk to you. They're not going to give you the time of day.
Tell it.
They don't want to. And if you want a picture with them, they're going to charge you for a picture. They're going
No,
to
I'm
charge
gonna
you
leg
for whatever. And I just don't understand what the point of that is. Someone explain to me why people want to do that.
And the way I look at it is just people's, social media age and
Instagram.
Literally, like I've been in clubs and I would literally see big name rappers, models and stuff, and like people will run towards the VIP, try to they'll be happy just sticking their camera back like this, and the model stuff's right there. They'll be like, I was there, they'll be all on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's just people feeling like
Everybody's just trying to
important that
flex.
They've been somewhere, and it's crazy, just like how it is. But people decided, they wanted to stop going to the clubs, but you're paying this money, you're paying all the alcohol, So that's what justifies it. So.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there'll ever be a model, right, that says, I met my husband / my baby daddy at the club. He approached me at a party I was hosting. And I was like, you know what? I want to give this dude a chance. Because the only dudes that have a chance in that type of situation is someone who's already famous.
Practically. Like somebody such as me probably would not have it. Well, maybe probably someone such as y'all got a chance.
I don't know, man. It's like Rashad said, you gotta already be famous to have a shot anyway, and I hate to see that it's like relationships for famous people are becoming like business deals. Like
It's been like that though, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
I was just too young to know that.
Marriage is a business deal.
I mean, it really is, but like
Jay-Z, Beyonce is totally
even more for like famous people, man. Because like they get into relationships and they immediately start posting about it, or they try to keep it secret and then spring it on people at the right time, right before the album come out. It's like this is a production. Like this isn't a relationship.
I think Offset and Cardi's is real. I don't think it's real.
I mean, even if it is, like, it's elevated them so much, I can't really give them credit for just being in love. Like, you can't just look at them and be like, oh, they just love each other. You see them because it's convenient.
Those two flex on the gram more than most celebrity couples every single time. Every single time Offset be buying Cardi B some expensive stuff, they always putting it on the gram.
I mean, I just hope people don't use this as an example. That's all to say.
Exactly.
People, that stuff's always going to be around, but just don't. Relationship goals, hashtag don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm just saying, if you're going to come up to a celebrity, come up to them with a purpose. Like, every time I see a celebrity and I want to be next to them or talk to them, it's because I want to learn something from them. I want advice. Hey, you understand? How'd you do something? How does it feel to be something? I want to learn something about them. I don't just want to take a picture and, be on my way. I want to, hey, how can we work together? How can I get an interview with you?
I feel like celebrities probably appreciate that more than just some of these, crazy people that go ahead just trying to take pictures, just flexing on the ground.
I don't know. It's just, it's a pretty narcissistic society too. So, they probably love it.
They probably love it to a certain extent because it makes them feel, but they're already famous.
I know.
I feel like that. Yeah, but I feel like
they said they used to go to the malls and like just walk through, like just to have people mob them. That was before Bad and Bougie.
That was before they blew up and now everybody's got their name on their lips. Mm-hmm. Speaking of celebrities, why is everybody on Twitter and the gram going in on Bruno Mars
and Tiffany Haddish?
What
did they do to y'all?
Why?
I don't get what? What are people saying? I'm confused about what's going on. I don't know why anyone could be mad at Bruno Mars.
I don't know. I don't know either. Just because he makes good music.
Black Twitter takes things way too far.
Sometimes they do too much. You're right.
Now they don't have anything to complain about because Mason Douglas done. The talk from that kind of cooled down. And then the women's thing is back hot now because International Women's Day was last weekend. It's Women's History Month. Mm-hmm. So Black Twitter, while they're in between, black person wasn't killed for no reason sometime recently. That was a big deal for no reason. So Black Twitter has nothing to complain about. And Black Twitter always needs something to complain about. So shoot, hey, Bruno Mars won this Grammy over, even though no white men for the first time in Grammy history were nominated for Album of the Year.
Because I saw that trending on the Twitter yesterday afternoon. I was like, why is he number one? Did he say something? Did something happen?
It's literally just a debate about.
So somebody literally just brought this up.
Appropriation.
Appropriate.
The Grammys.
Grammys were a month ago.
Yeah, I thought so. I was like, wait, when did the Oscars? What was last 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
the Oscars was last week.
Okay. I was like, the Grammys was a minute ago, I thought.
Exactly.
So this thing just blew up on social media just randomly.
Randomly.
Random.
Well, I'm not really on my Twitter like that. So it's I've only saw it from the outside looking in. And every tweet that I saw was, hey, y'all black people don't support, y'all support Bruno Mars. And it's like, Bruno Mars is talented.
It's like on the episode of the Boondocks where they say you throw a chair and literally the whole room just get mad.
Exactly.
I'm mad.
That's
what started the fight.
That's what Twitter is. I mean, because they done that a couple times for no reason with HBCUs versus PWIs.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind of just what I assume it was. Someone just out of nowhere said, "Oh well."
Didn't
that
Bruno
girl,
Mars beat out black artists to win?
Yeah.
Isn't Bruno Mars black?
That's one of those things that people
Nobody had that.
because he's like an eighth Hawaiian. He's like mostly Hawaiian. He's like a so-and-so Native American, so-and-so black.
First of all, why does it matter what race this guy is?
Hey, ask Black Twitter.
He makes music
because
we like.
And it's very good music.
So
it's good music.
I understand the frustration and appropriation. I don't think Bruno Mars is appropriating because we also have black artists. It's like Bruno Mars is getting more attention, but Bruno Mars has been grinding too. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Someone brought up a good point. They were like, who's doing what Bruno Mars is doing as a black person? No one is really because Bruno Mars is remaking classical hits from the 80s, from the 90s, from every era of feel-good music.
But
right?
he literally said
and
that
that's
next year's Super Bowl halftime show, which is going to be right here in Atlanta, he said that they should honor Atlanta's history of music, Atlanta's history of hip hop.
I mean,
the Grammys, he thanked a bunch of old black women.
it's not like, okay, we gonna stop this like this. Okay, well, we own this type of music. No, music is music.
I think
everyone can
the
enjoy
reason
it.
why black people feel like that, though, to play devil's advocate, is because over history, white people have stolen everything from black people. Rock and roll, jazz. So it's like, everything that black people created, white people took it and ran with it as their own. So when they see white people, not Bruno Mars, because Bruno Mars isn't white.
So their answer is to do the same thing.
Their answer is to make sure that white people stop taking what black people have, or at least enact credit them for it. Because cornrows,
well, what you gonna
big
do?
lips.
What you gonna do from a keyboard or a cell phone? It's like, I don't like him.
Right. Bruno Mars, man, I ain't got a problem.
But you got to think about the power of Black Twitter, because Black Twitter got Robin Thicke out of here. Black Twitter got Justin Timberlake out of here.
Timberlake's on a big tour right now.
Oh yeah, he ain't went nowhere. He just decided he didn't want to make music at that moment.
But Black Twitter has got him out of here.
Yeah, he's pretty huge right now.
I hate to tell you, Black Twitter, but I still like
2012.
Justin Timberlake. I like his music. He makes good music.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Type of people at keyboard, like someone like that.
It's just everybody was mostly in their feelings about Justin Timberlake for the fact that he was performing in the Super Bowl and he didn't, and it was nothing to do with Janet Jackson. And then they didn't like the fact, they thought that he dissed Prince. Yes.
Well, at least he went Fergie.
They had a beef when they were alive. At least he went Fergie. But
they all can keep her.
Black Twitter got Iggy Azalea out of here. Macklemore, they got him out of here. You know what I'm saying? Out of just the light of relevance.
I mean,
because
those
they
people
were like,
also weren't
y'all
very good.
appropriating. Macklemore wasn't good. Macklemore was good, bro. Like, even though, you know what I'm saying, like,
he was good for a minute.
I only think that we don't think that Macklemore is no longer good because he's not in the spotlight anymore.
Black Twitter still down with Eminem? In Black Twitter still down with Post Malone?
Exactly.
No, Black Twitter is trying to. They're slowly turning on Post Malone.
Oh yeah, you
Black Twitter just need to chill out.
I think it's just an imaginary space, man.
And then now that they're gonna enter in Jeremy's mentions. When black people get mad about something, they mad. We the mad black woman now.
Yeah.
We the mad black.
That's what y'all sound like. Because Bruno Mars ain't nothing wrong with Bruno Mars.
There's nothing wrong with him.
Clark _ 75. That's not my mention.
And come to my mention, see what you get.
And the thing about it is that Bruno
There's gonna be a bunch of gifs coming right back at you.
Got more talent than a lot of these artists, that some of these ladies, and you know who you are, than some of these women in Black Twitter be freaking talking about they fantasy baby daddy.
He's not more talented than Chris Brown.
Oh, you mean Beyonce?
He's not more talented than Chris Brown.
More talented than Trey Songz, I'll tell you that right now. More talented than him. But all right.
And Amigos.
Okay, now that's gonna
and
be
Amigos.
That's gonna be next week.
Okay, Bruno Mars is more talented than Amigos because he can dance and Amigos,
and make music.
Yeah,
that's gonna be next week. All right, that should be pretty much it for now. A-League Show once again, episode 70 in the books. All that good stuff. As always, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff.
This David Norwood, Twitter's DNorwood90.
This Jeremy Johnson. Yeah, I said it. Clark _ Kent _ 75. Clark _ Kent _ 75. Jeremy Johnson. I said it.
RashadMilligan.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Miko.
Akeem Balaam, Twitter, Graham Beyond the W. Check it out.
Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all